When I go live is when we'll start the intro. Okay.
Okay. You just let me know. Like I said, I'm watching you, so give me a 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
I'm going silent.
Okay. Went live. Go ahead.
Welcome, Nurse fans, to the latest S&M production of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the Sports Nerd joins forces with his maniac co-host, whom are select
Pick it up, Scott.
sports nerds with attitude that are known in Nerd Nation as the Ramp.
Open up, Scott.
These are four of the most
I'm open.
loudmouth, shit-talking nerds, spitting some sick rips and rants, just enough to make you piss your pants.
I'm not getting any
So
more.
listen up, Nerd Nation. Rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder.
Just go ahead and
He is
intro.
the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show.
Do the intro.
Coming to you live, straight out of Lakeland, Florida. Scott.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I'm waiting for the thing to stop. Hello, everybody. What's going on? The intro wasn't over, Eliot. I was going to wait till it was over. Is that how we're going to do this?
My bad. I forgot I have to have the headphones on.
Yeah, because it wasn't ready yet because it was still going on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
What's going on, everybody? We are the Sports Nerds, and we're coming for you live on Sunday night. With me this
We can hear
evening.
you.
What's that?
Going on, Sports Nation,
How we doing,
Sports
guys?
Nerd Nation.
Yep,
Sports Nerd Nation.
that's right. Tonight with me, we have, of course, Ken Koslow coming to you from Texas. Eliot Big E Lamba behind that ugly Yankees banner is on with us tonight, but he's not being seen. He's having a little.
Hey, don't be dissing my kids, yo.
He'll be joining us off camera, but he'll be here. John is on the road on his way to Newfoundland, and Bob is on his road coming home from Hilton to visit his parents. So it's just the Three Stooges this evening, and that will be it. Thanks everybody for showing up. And Eliot, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, man. I'm really sorry. I'm glad. I'm hoping you feel better by this time next week, so we can see your pretty face.
One thing, you're not feeling as sorry as I am.
I know. But Brett, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy.
Besides my interruption, was the intro okay?
Yeah, the intro was fine. If you can raise the volume on it a little bit next time,
Okay. You know what? I should have tested it before we started.
that's fine. If you could raise the volume on it next time, it'll be fine. But other than that, no, it was great.
I can easily turn up the volume. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Well, we weren't here last week due to situations that were beyond our control. But we are here this week, live and in charge. And we're going to throw some things out there tonight. First of all, guys, and I'm going to direct this to Kenny because he's the actual nerd in this place. He's covered all sports his entire career. So, Major League Baseball.
The what?
Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball.
Yes. Is Manfred the worst commissioner in sports right now?
I'll be honest with you. I've actually met Rob Manfred 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
And I've never had a problem with him. He's a really, really neat guy, nice guy. Here lately, he's done some things that I frankly don't understand.
Right.
And I think he knows what he wants to do to get the game going, but I don't think he knows which way to actually go through with it.
Yeah.
And it's frankly, it is puzzling. I wish I could say I was optimistic that there will be baseball played this year. Right now I don't know. I am totally stumped.
Right now, I'm of the mind that there's not going to be any sports this year.
Yeah, I'm getting close
I'm
to that
wondering
because,
myself.
yeah, and the reason I agree with you, Eliot, is because there's been a spike in positive testing on COVID. And I mean, we had, I think there was like 23,000 new cases today at the minimum. So it's been rising. Hey, Jen, good to see you.
DeSantis is a douche.
Hi, Jim.
What's that, Eliot?
I said DeSantis is a douche.
Yeah, he opened us too soon. And Florida was one of the states they were gonna put the players in, and it's not looking good. It doesn't even look good for the NBA right now, even though they're going to be in that bubble at Disney World.
Right.
It's still. I mean, it's going to be risky.
It don't matter how much you clean or disinfect.
Right.
If people are carrying the virus, they're carrying the virus.
Right.
You know
That's exactly why that's why I got myself tested the other day, because I'm not showing any symptoms whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel fine and I'm not showing any outward symptoms.
Right.
I just need to know if I'm asymptomatic.
You're being responsible. You're being responsible.
And, I'm trying to be responsible. Yeah, I'm wearing my mask everywhere I go.
And we got notification at my job, and of course you guys know I work in an office environment, and I've been working from home since March. We're going to be home until at least August 1st. So I'm working remote until at least August 1st.
And when they say at least,
at least, and they'll decide where we're going to go from there afterwards. But
with all the new cases popping up, it's almost impossible to determine when something can open up.
Correct.
Especially office buildings.
Yes.
I've been told that there will be school starting again in mid-August, which now who knows? But if it does go through like that, then I will get to go back to work.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm collecting some pretty good unemployment. So
you finally got the unemployment go through, and that's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've gotten 3 checks.
That extra 600 helps, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
That's good.
Oh, it's good. A little bit more than that, actually.
Oh, well, you get an extra 6, don't you?
Well, you see, he lives in Texas, so I think unemployment it's not federalized. It's per state. It depends on the state.
Well, I know
his could be different than ours.
Here they pay what,
getting any of the national. Yeah,
what do they pay?
I'm not getting any of the national.
Yeah, when I was on unemployment, God, this is going back 10 years. I was getting about $375 every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it wasn't a lot.
No, it's not. It never is.
Especially going from a job where I was making.
Florida has the worst unemployment system.
Yeah, especially when coming from a job where I was making nearly $50,000 a year, going to that, trying to pay rent and I was married to Shauna at the time, and trying to pay rent and all that stuff. It wasn't fun.
50 goes to 10 really fast.
Correct.
Yes. That's where I'm lucky, because my house is paid for. I'm not married. I don't have any kids to worry about. I just got to worry about my taxes right now.
Yeah.
My property taxes.
Right.
Got an email today that said that my property tax appeal has been turned down. So,
oops.
It will not be going down.
Oh, your property tax is staying where it's
Yeah.
at?
Yeah.
So they're not cutting you a break because of COVID on your property taxes. Hey, Christian.
No.
I
was hoping. Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett, what's up, man?
Hate to see that, Brett.
Brett's been pumping out them headlines this week.
He has, man. Brett's been active on the message board. I'm posting articles left and right.
On the Nation page.
Yes, on the Nation page.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to feed us some stories for the week.
Yeah,
which is always welcome.
Pretty much.
Got a lid lifter here in a few minutes for you.
You know what?
A lid lifter.
A lid lifter? Uh-oh.
Yeah, story.
Yeah, story. Well, and I want to say, Ken, I was really impressed with your posting today too. I read that. It was really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really nice.
I've been working on that for about 3 or 4 days. And,
and
kind of getting crazy this week, but
and the word of eternal time is cockwomble. I'll just let you know that. The word of the century, dude.
Yes, Jen, I've missed you because you have not been posting regularly. I know you've been on social media detox for that last week, so but that's okay. We're glad to see you here tonight.
Put a little dust on it.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Jen.
Put a little dust on it, Jen.
Right. You know what, Brett? It's a good question. Now, since I'm the golf aficionado of this group, not much everybody else is. I don't have a problem with golfers being mic'd up. I don't have a problem with it at all. Because there was a situation today where there were 2 players today. One of them was Bubba Watson, and they were bantering back and forth, doing side bets and stuff. It was on TV, and it was great. It was great. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Clarky.
Wow, you took the whole month off. Wow, Jen.
Yeah, she said she was going to go 30.
Got more gumption than I do.
Yeah. Only thing that's been going on is her scheduled tweets or anything out there. Other than that, she's stayed off Facebook. So, but and it's probably good for her. It's good for all of us for once in a while to get off Twitter and Facebook for a while.
Yep.
I don't post on Instagram a lot. I just follow people and I look at their stories and stuff. So, but anyway,
mainly post food on Instagram.
Yeah, and I saw your brisket. How'd it come out? Good.
It was great.
Good.
I liked it. Liked it a lot. Still got
Yes,
a little bit left. So
I'll watch your videos, Jen. Yes.
Ken, are you a foodie?
I like to think so.
Because you like to post food a lot.
I got the look of a foodie, that's for sure. How's it going, Clarky?
Oh, anyway, so Eliot put this list out for us, Ken.
I put 3 lists out.
Yeah, well,
Real quick before we get in this list.
Yeah, what's your lid lifter, Ken? Go ahead with that first.
Go ahead, man. Lid lift.
According to reports, Dak Prescott will sign the franchise tag tomorrow.
Yep. Yes, that's the word. I saw that. It just came out today.
He lost in the game of chicken.
Well, I don't think it was. I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago. My firm belief was he was going to play under the tag for this year and then get his deal done during either before or during the season.
Right.
He still lost the game of chicken.
Should have been doing this all along, and getting some bad advice.
Look, if he was going to tag, if he was going to accept the tag, he should have just fucking accepted it a long time ago.
Correct.
Stop this team turmoil crap that he causes is not.
Yeah.
It doesn't endear his teammates. Let's put it that way.
Because he was hemming and hawing, and he was just trying to figure out: do I want to wait for a contract? Do I want to sign the tender? He was undecided, and it didn't.
No,
that's not.
He was decided that he's the best quarterback in football.
He's not.
And he's not.
No.
He's right. I don't even think he's in the top 8 or 10.
Well, he might be top 10 based on the talent around him, but other than that, no.
I say late top 10 at the bet.
Yeah. He's somewhere between 6 and 10.
Because you know what? With all that talent he has on that team, what's he done? What's he accomplished?
True.
The same thing a lot of other Cowboys quarterbacks have accomplished.
Still doesn't want a playoff game either.
Nope.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's good for Dak. Get that behind him.
No, I don't think he has.
No, I don't think he has.
Unless he did 2 years ago. Might have gotten one. Or he got one right before he played the Rams.
Okay.
So he got one. So he's got as many as Romo had.
But I mean, good. Granted, the season's still in doubt because we don't know what it's going to be like in August, September. We just don't know. So I mean, there's even no guarantee that the Hall of Fame game is going to be played, let alone any preseason games. So
I think Hall of Fame has been scratched. Last I heard, it's been scratched. So
I didn't hear that yet.
It'll be just 2 or 3 preseason games, I think. I have no idea what this football season is going to look like.
Yeah, me either.
There will not be no football season.
Well, you know what, Bill Clarkey,
No.
to be honest, I don't take a lot of stock in what Chris Sims has to say about quarterbacks because he wasn't a very good quarterback himself. So, I mean, I don't take
He rode his dad's coattails.
he's riding his dad's coattails because of the name. He'll always be known as a quarterback who had his spleen ruptured in the middle of a game and played the rest of the game when he could have died. That's what he'll be remembered for in the NFL when he was playing with the Bucs. So, but I don't take a lot of stock in what Chris Sims has to say about quarterbacks. I'm sorry. You know what? What's his face from ESPN? The guy that ran out of the back of the end zone. What was that quarterback's name? He was on ESPN all the time. God,
I know who you're talking about.
He played on the Lions and actually was famous for running out the back of the end zone to try and throw a pass.
Right.
He's got more knowledge about quarterbacks than Chris Sims does. So, I mean, that's not saying much, but still. So, hey, Juan Vega's in the house, guys. Say hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Juan Vega, that's my homie from.
That's your homie?
Yep.
Yeah, that's my. We grew up together and we went to elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, I know Juan for like 50 years, man.
Chris Sims is also known for being crushed by Roy Williams in the end zone for a safety in the Texas OU game. Also.
Too funny. All right, so let's get to this top 10 list.
So,
Eliot.
Ready?
So because I'm feeling like baseball ain't happening this year,
Right.
I figure we give it some kind of a memoriam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to go over the last decade seemed to me to be proper, rather than, what happened last year or the year before. So
which one of us gets to deliver the eulogy?
Well, I kind of put it out there, Ken, that you're the baseball guy because you covered it more than I did.
I always get to do the eulogy.
Well, here's the thing with polls, and I'll explain it again. They're all subjective. It's not right or wrong. It's a matter of your opinion.
Right.
And your opinion matters,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned. So.
Okay.
But anyway, on this list, I gave you 10 guys, and if you're on the page, you'll see them. If not, get on there. And I'm starting with right field, center field, and left field. Okay, next week.
I saw the list, but then they disappeared when you erased everything, so I never got to see the list again.
He put it back up. He put it back up.
Yeah. Go back on the page.
So if you can get in there and see it, then you'll be able.
What I did was remove the polls because they were worthless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clarky asked the question. Clarky, let me before while Ken's trying to find the list. If Clarky asked the question, if there's no NFL season, how's the draft order different for 2021? I would think that they would still use
carry it over
for the 2020 for the 2019 season. I would think
because 2020 never happened.
Right.
Nope.
Find it.
Give me just a second.
This should be the one that says "Happy Father's Day, Nation."
Yeah.
All right.
All three lists are right there. Let's start with right field.
Okay.
Now, just to give you an idea, honorable mention. There's 5 guys that got honorable mention on this list.
Okay.
Carlos Beltran,
Mm-hmm.
Andre Ethier, Shin Soo Choo, Adam Eaton, and one that probably surprised a few people, Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Now keep in mind what I said about the poll. It's about the entire decade.
Right.
Aaron Judge has only been around for a season and a half, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. But he got honorable mention anyway. So that's got to be impressive for him.
He still wouldn't make my top 10 of the decade because he hasn't played. He hasn't shown.
He hasn't played enough. No.
Yeah, he hasn't played enough.
Maybe next decade.
Maybe.
So
Okay.
at number 10, who do you guys think should be at number 10?
Number
Should I
10.
start
Right
with
fielders?
one?
We're
Or
doing
should I
right
start
fielders?
with one? Yeah, this is
Let's start with one and work our way down.
okay.
Okay.
I'm open. So on that list, who do you believe is the number 1 right fielder of this past decade?
Past decade.
I like Bryce Harper.
I'm going to go with Bryce Harper. Yep.
Okay.
Number 1.
Anybody out there in Nerd Nation want to post what they think?
If they've got the list, they got the list up.
Got
Yeah.
the list in front of you.
Yeah.
Please.
If they don't have the list, let's run this down.
Yeah.
The right fielders of the decade. You got Yasiel Puig, Hunter Pence, Jay Bruce, Josh Reddick, Nick Markakis, Giancarlo Stanton, Jose Batista, Mr. Batflip himself, Bryce Harper, which we just posted as number 1, Mookie Betts, despite playing for the Mets all those years, and Jason Hayward. Those are the 10 on the list.
Hey, good.
Okay, so you guys both have Harper at number 1.
Yeah. Now, Mookie played better when he went to Boston. He was a better player when he went to Boston.
Yes.
And he has nothing under his belt as far as LA is concerned because they haven't played anything. He haven't played yet. So
No.
but Mookie came into his own when he went to Boston.
Okay. So
Mookie's my number 2, by the way.
The number one right fielder of the decade is Giancarlo Stanton.
Really?
Despite only playing 123 games 4 times this decade, Stanton is leaps and bounds ahead of every other right fielder in nearly every offensive category. Injuries have been an issue, and that might become even more pronounced in the next decade. However, Stanton has the ability, and he did a lot of things in the decade.
Right.
I mean, when he was in Miami, he was money.
Okay.
He was. He hit some bomb shots in Miami.
Oh yeah, he did. I mean,
That
if there was a
ballpark
that stadium, he might have
made
hit
for him.
But
That
injuries have
ballpark
been
was
his
made
bugaboo.
for him.
Yep.
So Giancarlo Stanton's number 1. Again, this is subjective. He could have finished 2. He could have finished 3. But according to his performance throughout the decade, he was chosen at number 1.
I actually have Stanton, I think, at number 3.
Yeah, I take Mookie Betts number 2 and Stanton number 3.
Yep, me too.
Okay. Well,
4, go with.
number 2 is a guy by the name. Well, actually, they gave him a nickname. Joey Bats.
That'd be Joey Bats. That's Jose Batista.
Oh, say Bautista. He is coming in at number 2.
I don't think
He actually made his major league debut in 2004. He became the Juan Batista we all know and love in 2010.
Well, maybe John would agree with that. But I don't know about anybody else, but that's okay.
Oh, John would be all over that.
John loves him some Joey Bats. Now he does.
Oh yeah.
But he did some stuff, man, and,
Yep.
and he was memorable. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Throughout the decade. At number 3, Bryce Harper.
Okay.
When Harper had a better year than Mike Trout has ever had, it looked like we had an all-timer on our hands.
I can't believe they got Yasiel Puig on this list. I seem to recall all of his blunders in right field that made him more
I think
famous
this
than
is
else.
more. I think this is more of an offensive list than
like a hitting list.
offense.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going both offense and defense.
Oh no. They're not going by. You know how hard it is to have an overall offensive and defensive ranking.
Yeah, it's really hard
Off
to
of
do that.
Mookie,
It'd be like
if you're going offense and
some of them
defense,
can
Mookie's
stand
the
out
best
that
I've
way.
ever seen.
Mookie's great defensively and offensively,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more hard
Only
to
reason I
gauge
didn't-
defense on people than it is offense. And yeah, I mean, a
true.
lot of offensive players do have issues when it comes to defense.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but Harper comes in at number 3. Number 4, Mookie Betts.
Yeah, I can go. I get top 5 Mookie Betts. I would think in the decade, yes, because I had him number 3, but yeah.
He is considered the only guy that can rival Mike Trout these days,
Yep.
and has won a World Series,
Yep.
AL MVP,
And Wayne-
Eagle gloves, and he's only 26 years old.
Wayne
How's it
Lane in
going,
the
Wayne?
house.
Why the Red Sox got rid of him or let him go, I do not know.
I don't know either.
I don't either. I mean,
That's like a
Actually,
Babe Ruth
I'm actually, hang on. I'm actually hoping that there's not going to be any baseball this year for one reason. That's because he only signed a 1-year contract with the Dodgers.
correct.
If
Now,
he
do
doesn't
they
get to
push
play
those
with the Dodgers,
forward,
he
though?
could come right back to the Red Sox.
Right.
If they don't play, though, can't they just push those contracts to the next season?
I don't think so. This is a one-off deal. I I think.
Well, they've been bickering over money this whole off season because and I don't know. He may not make $1 on it. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna. My thinking is they probably will push the contracts back here because if they don't play. Good to see you, Wayne. I mean,
How's it going, brother Wayne?
I want to think that if they don't play this season, then it'll just cancel out and the contracts will carry over to the following season. That's what I'm thinking.
If it didn't happen, it doesn't exist.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
So yeah, I mean, Mookie will get his year. I mean, in LA, whether it be this season or next season, he's going to get his time in LA.
Yeah,
I just think
that wouldn't even be proper. That wouldn't even be proper if you don't. If the league is shut down for the season, that now players can go free agent.
Right.
No, that just doesn't work for me. I'll probably at number 5, Jason Hayward. He spent his time with Atlanta, St. Louis, and Chicago.
J. Hay kid.
Yeah, everybody thought he might be a Willie Mays guy coming out.
I thought he was.
He was he hasn't become a Hall of Fame player level, but he's been consistent throughout the entire.
He's been consistent. He hasn't been off the chain like everybody thought he was going to be coming out of college.
He's another one that I don't understand why the Braves let him go so easily.
Well, and I'm biased because you got Jose Lindor in Cleveland, where it looks like they're trying to get rid of him, and he's the best player on the team. I don't understand either. So it just boggles the mind.
The clip, Scott, you're not going to be happy about this one, but the clip they're showing is when Hayward's being interviewed after
the winning hit in the World Series. Yeah, well, yeah. I hate Hayward just because of that. I'm just telling you right now.
At number 6, he spent time with Baltimore.
Too soon, Eliot. Too soon.
Huh?
Too soon.
Too soon what?
To talk about the Indians in 2016. It's still too soon.
Well, we got to talk about whatever, dude. So he spent his time in the decade with Baltimore. He's currently with Atlanta.
Yeah.
He was definitely a thorn in the Yankees side.
Yeah.
Nick Markakis at number 6.
I like Markakis.
He's a good ball player. I mean, any team, I don't know why they got rid of him, but any team would be happy to have him because he's consistent. And he was a Yankee killer, dude. Back in the day, he used to kill the Yankees, man.
So did Mookie.
Yeah. Just like we used to kill, what's his name? David Price.
Yeah, no, David Price.
We own that dude.
David Price is the most overrated postseason pitcher in Major League history.
Oh, I'm talking about when he came into the league and he was blazing people.
Well, yeah, he won a Cy Young with the Rays. Okay.
Derek Jeter used to whoop on him.
I mean, the guy won a Cy Young award with the Rays. Give me a break.
Well, that just means he was the best player in the organization.
Correct. Yeah, he was. But he couldn't win a playoff game.
That happens.
I mean, now he did.
In a lot of sports.
Now, granted, when Boston went back into the playoffs, he did win 1 or 2 games in that playoffs. But I mean, he's just. I think we all know the mentality. The mentality that goes with regular season and postseason. Right. It's totally different. Just like hockey.
You can't handle that pressure because your season's coming to an end if you don't succeed.
Yeah, just like hockey. When the Stanley Cup playoffs start, it's everybody's going 0-0, and everybody's got a chance. I mean, look what Columbus did to the Bolts last year. The Bolts were the best record in the NHL. They were highly favored, and they lost in 4 straight.
Yeah. So
as the number 1 team in the entire league.
Correct.
See, the thing is by the time you get to the playoff scenario, you're actually playing against the best teams.
Right.
You're not playing the crappy teams.
The bottom field feeders,
Yeah, you're not playing that.
Get a load of this, guys.
What's that?
Dodgers make the playoffs. Let's say the Dodgers make the playoffs, and their top 2 pitchers going into the playoffs are Clayton Kershaw and David Price.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that wasn't good. At number 7, he spent his time with Boston, Oakland, the Dodgers, and now he's a Houston.
Reddick.
Josh Reddick.
Great point, Brett. Carl Crawford. Thanks for that memory. Ugh, God.
He had reached the postseason with 3 different teams.
Right.
The only one he didn't was with Boston. Back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
At number 8, Cincinnati, the Mets, Cleveland, Seattle, and Philadelphia. Man, he gets frequent flyer miles, doesn't he?
Hey, Bruce.
Jay Bruce.
Ken knows baseball better than I do. I don't know why. I just.
And the thing is, Bruce has never won a postseason series. He's 0-5.
Ouch.
Yeah. At number 9, I don't really care for his last name these days, but Hunter Pence.
Hometown boy.
He was really good when he was with the Giants and those World Series teams. I mean,
He is from my hometown.
yeah. He was big. He was strong. The dude had a cannon for an arm.
Yeah.
3 World Series rings too.
Yep.
And 3 World Series rings is right. Okay, and finally, that only leaves Yasiel Puig.
Well, I kind of figured he'd be 10th on this because the other guys on this list are so much better than he is. So I mean, it just he doesn't excite me at all. Yasiel Puig is a ticket seller. Basically, that's what he is. He's there to sell tickets. He's not a great baseball player. He's a good hitter, but his fielding is subject. And I'm just not a big fan. Even though he was with the Indians last year, I just wasn't a big fan of it. I really wasn't.
I'll say this about Yasiel Puig. If he was half as good as he thinks he is, then he would be a superstar.
Correct.
Half as good as he talks to himself.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
All right. Well, that wraps up the list for right fielders.
Yep. Now we go to center fielders, and Eliot's list is Jacoby Ellsbury, Kevin Kiermaier, Dexter Fowler, George Springer, Sterling Marte. Is that Marte, Ken?
Marte.
Yeah.
Starling Marte.
Starling Marte.
Mike Trout.
Okay. Mike Trout. The clutch, Andrew McCutchen. Adam Jones. Is that just not Chipper? No, Chipper retired long before that. It's just Adam Jones.
Chipper's a third baseman.
Yeah, Lorenzo Cain and Curtis Granderson.
Grandy Man.
Grandy Man. The Grandy Man can.
Good point, Brett. He says Puig's a Papelbon type player.
Yeah, actually, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate, I would say, yes.
Puig has the abilities.
Yes, he does. He has
a monster player.
Right.
He just needs to get out of his fucking head.
He needs to get that space between his ears cleared out and get it right.
He just needs to get out of it himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? Start thinking outside, not within your head.
Right.
Because that gets you in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start Eliot. Trout is gonna be number 1 on this list for me. I don't care.
Okay, well let me go ahead and give you the honorable mentions first.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Charlie Blackmon of Colorado.
All right.
Carlos Gomez. Didn't he play like with Milwaukee and the Mets? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me the team. So, Ender Inciarte. Austin Jackson. AJ Pollock. Denard Span. And Shane Victorino.
Victorino.
Wow. Flying Hawaiian.
The Flying Hawaiian. Yep. Okay, so at number 1, you guys say who?
Mike Trout.
Trout.
Hands down.
You're right.
Of course.
Yeah. That took a lot of thinking.
He's been the best. He's essentially been the best player in baseball ever since he arrived.
Yeah.
He has already passed 14 Hall of Famers in career WAR this season.
Pretty close.
Including Ernie Banks.
And it's too bad that he's stuck in Anaheim. It's just terrible.
It is.
Because the Angels have never tried to put anything around him. There's nothing going on with the Angels.
He would be better off in pinstripes.
Yeah, well, of course he would for you. Yeah. Punk ass.
Well, he'll wind up in the freaking
He'll be in the Hall of Fame despite playing with the Angels. I mean, I know he likes California. He likes playing with the Angels, but they've never even tried to get anybody.
But he's a Jersey boy.
Yeah, I know, but still, they've never tried to put anybody around him to try and make a run. It's and it's the AFC and it's the AL West.
Look, bottom line,
Houston and everybody else in that division. I mean, come on.
Trout is better at baseball than anybody you know is at anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be.
Trout is the modern day Mickey Mantle.
Yes, he is.
I think so. I think you can make a case for that. At number 2. Any guesses?
I know who I would probably put.
I'd go either Adam Jones or McCutchen. What do I know?
I would go with. I think I would go with Curtis Granderson.
Okay, Scott, really good. Andrew McCutchen, number 2.
McCutchen, I don't have a problem with McCutchen.
Yep.
I like McCutchen's
He was
game.
better with the Pirates.
Yes.
He's loved by Pittsburgh.
Pirates
Pittsburgh
let him
loves
go.
him.
I mean, his claim to fame, I love it. Also, he proposed on Ellen to his girlfriend.
Nice. No, Pittsburgh loves Andrew McCutchen, despite the fact he's not playing in Pittsburgh anymore. They love him. They love
and you know
him.
what? When he was with the Yankees for a little bit in 18, he did really well then too. We really needed him in 18.
He's a fan favorite no matter where you go.
And he's a great kid. He really is.
He is. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love Andrew McCutchen.
Yep.
The kids love him.
He's now the leadoff man in Philadelphia.
He needs to go back to Pittsburgh where he's more loved, but that's all right. Because he's not going to just as Mr. Bryce Harper found out, you can't leave home and go to Philadelphia and expect to win a World Series. And then they come to find out he leaves DC and the Nationals win the World Series.
Right.
For 3.
I say Adam Jones.
Give me Curtis Granderson.
Okay. Scott, you're not bad at this. Adam Jones, you must be a center fielder guy. Adam Jones comes in at number 3.
Okay.
4?
This is where you lose me. I'm going to say Ellsbury or Granderson.
Granderson.
All right.
Hey, Blaine.
But turns out that it is Lorenzo Cain.
Lorenzo Cain.
Okay.
He won the NL MVP. He was an NL MVP candidate for the award in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
He did win that World Series with the Royals against the Mets.
Yeah.
And he was a key player in that series as well.
Yep.
So, got to give it up for
he's one of the best base runners I've seen in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Either league right now.
Yep, he's got speed to burn. And he's smart when he does it.
Yes, he is.
Okay, number 5. Your guy finally came through, Ken.
Say him enough times, Kenny, he'll finally show up somewhere.
Hey, before long, he would have been on the list. Yeah, he would have been there.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this, Eliot. As a Yankee fan, where would you put Granderson?
On this list?
Yeah. If you're a Yankee fan, where would you put him?
I think at 5 is fine.
Okay.
Because again, he did it for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
He's been consistent pretty much everywhere he's gone.
Right.
But these other guys, I think, have done a little bit more, if not a lot more.
He really didn't do that much for the Mets, did he?
Well, Granderson? Nah, he didn't. You see, you got to remember that when he was with the Yankees, that was his prime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
He's outside of his prime now. But during his prime, he was lethal for the Yankees.
Yep.
And, I mean, we'll always remember and love him. But he's been a traveler lately. Yankees.
He's one of those guys like David Wells who'll always be loved by the New Yorkers. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
If you ever played for the Yankees and you ever did anything for the Yankees, you're loved.
Yeah, Mr. Double Dutch himself, David Wells. I love that. I loved watching David Wells pitch.
Granderson has been with the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Brewers, and Miami. So as you can see, he's been well-traveled in the second half of the decade, which sometimes causes inconsistency when you travel that much.
Right.
And number 6.
You know where I would go with number 6? This guy It's more leadoff home runs than anybody I've ever seen in the history of my history of baseball. And that's 50-something years. It's uncanny what George Springer does in the leadoff.
I knew you were going to say that. George Springer. He does.
I have never seen anybody anywhere step up to the plate.
Who was the guy that hit a lot of leadoff? Wasn't that Ricky Henderson?
Henderson hit a lot of them, but he hasn't. Henderson doesn't touch George Springer.
No. Because George Springer, Henderson wasn't really a power hitter either.
No. Springer is a power hitter, but he's also got speed.
Yeah. Well,
Springer is unbelievable.
Yep. But he didn't come in at 6. That would be Starling Marte.
Starling Marte? Okay.
He's the guy that filled in for McCutcheon, right? After
he left Pittsburgh,
After he left Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's led all center fielders this decade in stolen bases. And he's a true 5-tool player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he'll always be haunted by the PED suspension in 2017.
True.
But he's bounced back to be the player he was before the test.
Yeah, Wayne says that Ronald Acuna Jr. is up there too, Ken. As far as I'm thinking of leadoff hitters, leadoff home runners. I think is what he's talking about.
Another one, yeah, in Atlanta. Yeah. He pops him right off the top. All right, George Springer's number 7.
Okay.
You okay with that, Kenny?
Yep. Give me Dexter Fowler at number 8.
That would be correct.
Wow.
Give me Jacoby Ellsbury at 9 and Kevin Kiermaier at 10.
Unfortunately, Kiermaier's 9, Ellsbury's 10.
Oh, well.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Ellsbury had a great first half of the decade.
Yeah, he did.
But since then, it's been nothing but one tragedy.
Since he left Fenway.
I think Fenway knew that he was going to start to fall apart. I think when
I don't know.
Boston had a feeling that and guess what? He played a somewhat okay season the first season, but then nothing but injuries after that.
Yeah.
His body just gave out. He hasn't played in 4 years?
Something like that.
Yeah. So
boy, when he
what stopped him.
When he was at his prime, though, and at his best, he could run like
absolutely.
He could run like a deer.
But you know what? Kevin Kiermaier at 9 is not a bad pick.
No, it's not.
Scott knows a little bit about Kevin Kiermaier.
Mm.
Another Yankee killer.
Kiermaier plays for who?
Tampa.
Oh, Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay.
When the Rays are good.
When the Rays are good, then yeah. But the Rays
He's out there when the Rays are good.
Rays have got to be the most bipolar organization in baseball because they're good or they're really bad.
You think so?
Yes, I think because look at last season. They gave the Yankees a run in that division last year.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Boston or Toronto, but it was the Rays with the lowest payroll in the American League that finished second in that division.
That was the same as 2008. Also,
yes.
They snuck up on everybody.
Yes,
won the pennant.
Yes,
came within what?
That's when Dave
weird
World Series against Philly.
Yeah,
we got to a weird 7th game.
But yeah, they were good.
And then all that weather nastiness kind of threw them off.
That is the weirdest 7th game I think I've ever seen.
All right.
I think I had to play that over 2 nights, didn't they?
We're going to wrap up the polls today with the left fielders.
Okay. And in left field, we have Alex Gordon, Brett Gardner, Carlos Gonzalez, Matt Holliday, J.D. Martinez, Justin Upton, Ryan Braun, Michael Brantley, Kristen Yelich, and Cespedes. Giannis Cespedes. Oh.
This is a tough list.
This is a tough list because there's no player that just glaring.
There's not a clear-cut left fielder, right?
There's no glaring number 1 on this list.
Anybody on this list, I think most people on this list could argue number 1.
Correct. I'm going to go with Michael Brantley.
Okay.
I will go with. I'm going to go with J.D.
J.D. Martinez?
J.D. Martinez.
Okay. At number 1, Justin Upton.
Okay.
Well, again, any. I mean, there's no glaring number 1 on this list. They could all be there.
Four-time
Right.
All-Star
Totally agree.
who did not have a below-average offensive season all decade. And he's only 31 years old.
Yep.
So I think that would argue that he's probably a good pick at number 1.
Thanks, Wayne. I'm a homer.
What?
I know I am. I'm sorry.
All right.
I know he's an Indian. I know I'm a homer.
And don't feel bad though, Scott, because
No.
Brantley came in at number 3.
Hey, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yep.
But who came in at 2?
Upton.
Here's a hint. He's been with the same team the entire decade. His career,
Christian Yelich.
kind of a short decade. I'm talking about the entire decade.
Oh,
Well, it's not Cespedes because he went from.
Okay, so he's Christian Yelich's teammate, by the way.
Okay.
Ryan Braun,
Ryan Braun. No, is that Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
He's gonna be tainted for.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say, does this count? Does this count taking steroids or not taking steroids? I'm just curious. You know. I mean, I know this panel agrees that we need to put Mark McGwire in the Hall of Fame, Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. You know, but it's still, but yeah.
Again, the argument that I've always had is that steroids doesn't improve your ability to put the bat on the ball.
No, it doesn't.
That's basically what it comes down to.
The hardest thing.
That's one of the hardest skills.
The hardest thing to do in all sports is hit a 90 mile an hour fastball. It's the hardest thing to ever
To
do.
square up a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Correct.
It's almost impossible. And if you have that kind of ability,
I will give Ryan Braun this. He has one of the funniest nicknames in sports. The Hebrewer.
The what? The Hebrewer?
The Hebrewer.
Oh,
the
no.
Hebrew. All right, Michael Brantley came in at number 3, as I mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, he spent a lot of the decade with Cleveland and then went on to Houston.
Cheaters.
To learn sign stealing.
Right.
At number 4, Ryan Braun's teammate, Christian Yelich.
Christian Yelich, number 4.
I don't know that I would put Yelich ahead of J.D. Martinez.
Again, this is subjective. Again, this is the hardest list of all 3.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, absolutely, because all these left fielders are kind of mirror images. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, kind of mirror images.
Martinez has done as much at DH as he has left field.
Right. Clarky, I tend to agree with you as far as if it makes balls that go to the warning track out of the park. It doesn't change the fact you have to have that hand-eye coordination, and steroids do not improve hand-eye coordination to try and hit a baseball. If you connect, yes, the steroids will launch them, but you have to be able to hit the ball first.
Yeah.
Right.
And steroids are not actually great for coordination either.
No.
So, it's an argument that can be made, just like the flip side.
Right.
Okay. All right, and Yelich, he did big things down in Miami for the 5 years that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got to lump that in as well. At number 5, this dude just loves cars.
Those cars.
Cars, like driving cars.
Automobiles.
He won the home run derby back-to-back
Argo.
in 2014. Jonas Cespedes.
Was it Cespedes, really?
Cespedes, number 5.
Okay.
He may be the best home run derby participant ever. And his cannon arm is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
And injuries again it devours people, man. It devours people. All right, Ken, J.D. Martinez, number 6.
Finally.
Well, hey, he relished in obscurity in Detroit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nobody really knew him down in Houston in 2011-13. You know what I'm saying?
I bet
I
it's
think he
time with
started
the
picking up when he went to Arizona and then Boston.
Arizona, yeah.
That's when he started killing it. Because he didn't make much of an impact when he played for Detroit either.
The reason he didn't make that much of an impact with Detroit is because they had Cabrera at that time.
Because they suck.
Cabrera dominated Detroit at that time.
All right, at number 7. This guy was money, dude, when he played with St. Louis and Colorado.
And Holiday.
Yeah, he played with the Yankees for a year.
Holiday.
Yep.
Cargo at number 8. Another Colorado.
Cargo.
Carlos Gonzalez.
Dude, that dude feasted on Coors Field.
Yes, he did. That place was made for him.
I mean, he could bunt for home runs in that place. At number 9, one of the most, I believe, underrated left fielders in the league, Brett Gardner.
Brett Gardner, the Red Sox killer.
Brett Gardner kills a lot of people because you don't expect it out of him. You look at
He
his frame,
always went off on the Red Sox.
but he kills people. And
Always
all of a
has.
sudden, in the latter part of his career, he's developed some pop in his back.
He has.
Because in
He's
the
also
beginning
got
of his
some-
career,
He's also got some underrated speed too.
yeah, that too. Brett Gardner's pretty fast.
He can cover. He can cover a lot of real estate in left field.
Yes.
And at number 10, Alex Gordon. He was a
Alex
perennial
Gordon's not
all-star
bad.
the first half of the decade. He was part of the World Series champion.
Was
And,
integral part of that championship.
Yep.
yeah, that gives you status when you're an integral part of a championship. That puts you top 10 on pretty much a lot of lists.
Yep.
All right, and the honorable mentions were Marcel Ozuna, Melky Cabrera, and Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton.
Remember Josh Hamilton?
No. Yeah.
What a waste of a career.
No kidding.
That guy hit, 28 bombs in one round in the home run derby
Yes.
Yeah.
at Yankee Stadium?
At
Yeah.
least 28.
He sacrificed it for substance abuse, and that sucks.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
He hit that one. He hit that one home run in the All-Star. I mean, the home run derby that went about 550 feet.
Yep.
All right. So, moving on, we got next week we're going to do the infield.
Okay, good. That'll be more in my wheelhouse because I'm more of an infield guy anyway. I played second base when I was a kid. So. But Brett brings up a good point. Manfred sent a letter to MLBPA chief Tony Clark offering to remove expanded playoffs and a universal DH for the 2021 season if a 2020 season is not completed. I don't know, Kenny. You're the baseball guy. Do you like the DH, or would you rather get rid of it?
DH.
Yeah.
I would actually like to get rid of it.
I'm on the other end.
Now, let me preface that. Not necessarily get rid of it, but make it more optional. You can opt out if you want to.
So you make it optional. Either you can put your pitcher in at the ninth hitter, or you can use a
He's a
DH.
good enough hitter, sure.
Yeah.
There are some pretty good hitters out there right now that are
Yeah,
pitchers.
there are. Yeah.
And
There's some great hitting pitchers
yeah, exactly.
out there.
And there's some second basemen and shortstops that can't hit worth a flip. And
Right.
I would have them DH.
You can technically have a DH and a pitcher in your
right,
league.
exactly. Kind of like college.
Yeah.
Like college. I mean, your pitcher can, if he's good enough, he can hit, and then you DH for somebody else.
Well, when I was in Little League, a
Don't
lot
have
of
a
our
problem
pitchers
with
were the
that.
best hitters in the team. So I mean, and that's just the way
Sure.
that was.
So now, if you want to go that direction, then I don't have a problem with it in the National League. But I think the National League pitchers are always better hitters than the American League.
Yeah, I mean,
Those in interleague play.
because the position of pitcher has become so specialized.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a lot more pitchers that really can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag.
See, here's the
Yeah.
concern I have for pitchers when they hit. If you're a left-handed hitter and you're a right-handed pitcher,
Mm-hmm.
and you get hit with a ball on your right arm,
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, that's
Remember
true.
Andrew Wang for the Yankees?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Yang, remember him?
Yang, yeah.
And
Afternoon.
his career went down the tubes because he had to
Hit
bat.
by pitch. Yep.
He was an awesome pitcher.
Yep.
And because he had to run the bases and he screwed up his leg,
Yep.
he never pitched.
Well, that's like the guy from the Angels that had to get Tommy John surgery. The kid that came over from
Right.
Japan.
Japanese player.
Yeah, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he was not only was he
Otani?
Otani. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, not only was he a pitcher, but he was also he played first base or right field and was a hitter.
Yeah.
So I mean, they had
I just think with the money pitchers are getting paid nowadays, you need to protect them, and because it's such a specialized position, even more so.
Yeah, and Wayne brings up a great point. There's no strategy in having a DH. So I mean, there's pluses and minuses on both sides of the argument. I mean, I'm American League guy, of course, but I don't want to see Corey Kluber go out there and try and bat. I don't want to see that. When
you don't have to see that. You would want to hit for Kluber.
Yeah.
But there's some hitters and pitchers out there that just they love the interleague play because they get the chance to show off what they can do.
Well, Wayne, that's what they do for interleague play now is they do switch it off. When the National League comes to American League Park, they have the DH. When the American League goes to the National League, they have the pitcher's hit. So I mean, that's the way it is now. That's a conversation that's been going on ever since the DH was put in place back in the 70s. So
and will continue to go on.
Correct. Yes.
For years to come.
Yes.
I'll say this: a pitcher becomes less willing to go after batters hit by pitch balls if he knows he has to come up and face one.
Correct.
So there's that deterrent. But no,
that would definitely prevent brawls.
Exactly.
Mean brawls.
That's what we're trying to get rid of.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Well, that does it for the list this week. I want to introduce a new segment to the show. It's called On This Day.
Oh, I see. Wayne, that's what Wayne's saying. He says he wants to switch it off, have the DH in the NL Parks when the American League comes, and have the pitchers pick.
Like they do in the World Series and the
Well, no. When the American League team comes to a National League Park, have the DH. When the National League team goes to American League Parks, get rid of the DH. It should be if he wants the opposite.
That way, each league can experience the opposite.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, have the DH in NL Parks and no DH in AL Parks is what he's saying.
NL Parks never see DHs and AL Parks never see pitchers hit.
Correct.
So, I don't think anybody's going to buy that, but it's a decent idea. All right, so on this day, now I'm just going to go through major sports, a couple decades. This will flow right through. Okay.
Now,
Although there was one that I noticed.
Our week.
I'm going to do the whole week.
Okay.
Each day of the week. Each day of the week.
All right.
June 15th to 23rd.
Refill. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Nelly. Go ahead and start. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be here.
So, Monday, June 15th. On Monday, June 15th. I was looking at one way back in 1928 because it just blew me away when I saw it. At 41, Ty Cobb steals home for the 50th and final time.
Wow.
He stole home 50 times.
50 times.
Is that crazy?
Spike high.
Incredible.
I don't think that's one that's going to get approached.
I don't even think that's one that they should even consider a record anymore. Just solidify it as, I don't know, higher being kind of stuff.
I wonder who's second on that list because I don't see anybody. You hardly ever see steal of home anymore.
No, I would not be surprised if the second on that list is a distant second.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, 50 times?
Jackie Robinson did it 3 or 4 times that I've seen on film tape. There's no telling how many times he did it in real life. But
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of tape on Ty Cobb. So.
no.
Anyway, in 28, Scott, at 41, Ty Cobb stole home for the 50th time in his career.
The most disliked player in baseball history.
Yeah, and he stole home 50 times.
Yeah, he was still a racist asshole.
But he'll never lose his place in baseball.
You ever see that movie?
No, I never did. Wasn't that with Tommy Lee Jones?
Yes. That was actually an excellent movie.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I have seen it.
On June 15th in 1983, the Cardinals traded Keith Hernandez to the Mets.
To the Mets.
For Neil Allen and Rick Ownby.
And 2 or 3 years later, the Mets won the World Series.
3 years later, the Mets won the World Series in a historic comeback against the Red Sox.
Don't remind Kenny. He still hates it to this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill Buckner.
Between the legs.
Between the legs.
Here's an interesting one. In 1989, the Baltimore Orioles pulled their 9th triple play against the Yankees.
1989?
Yep. 9 triple plays.
Wow.
It's got to be in their team history. Yeah, it's not 9 in 1 year. Nobody's done that, I don't think.
Yeah, Bill Clarkie goes as far as Martinez, and then he ended up on Seinfeld.
On this day in 2011, the Boston Bruins defeated the Vancouver Canucks 4-0.
Bruins.
4-3 series.
Yay.
Bruins
ended their 39-year Stanley Cup drought.
God.
And finally, in 2019, the Pelicans traded Anthony Davis to the Lakers in a blockbuster deal.
That was last year, yeah.
Yep.
Unibrow.
Oh, one more. Babe Ruth. His baseball jersey, most expensive sports memorabilia when it sells for $5.64 million.
Jesus Christ. Did you guys see where the guitar that Kurt Cobain played on MTV Unplugged, and when they did the Unplugged in the early 90s, sold for over $6 million today?
Wow. I did not see that.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Kurt Cobain was one of the most talented. He was the talent of Nirvana.
Yes.
Just
Nirvana.
That could have been
one of
the greatest.
What Nirvana would have done had Kurt Cobain not killed himself. I mean,
No
he could have been on the level of the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. I mean, all the big bands in history. I mean, granted, they do not get credit for introducing grunge because that was other groups that did that. Okay, but Nirvana was the most popular.
Yes.
All right, and
if Kurt Cobain does not die, Nirvana sticks around, and the Foo Fighters never exist.
Thank God. We could always hope, right? Yeah, exactly.
All right, in this now we're moving on to the 16th of June.
Okay.
In 1978, Cincinnati Reds Tom Seaver no hits the St. Louis Cardinals.
Tom Seaver, what a great pitcher he was.
Remember, he couldn't buy a fucking no hitter with the Mets.
Right.
Nobody could.
Yeah.
Nobody could.
Until Franco did it, right?
All right. I think the Mets to this day have one no hitter in their history, don't they? That's it.
It was Franco. That's the only one they had.
Yep.
Amazing. All right, here's a little love for Ken. 1979, Carl Yastrzemski hits his 1,000th extra base hit.
All right. Yeah, my man.
In 1994, Martin Brodeur became the first Devil to win the Calder Trophy.
Martin Brodeur, yes.
In 1995, Marlins outfielder Andre Dawson hit his 400th NL career home run.
Andre Dawson.
429.
He's an undertaker. No, he's an undertaker. He owns a funeral home now.
Undertaker a funeral home.
Yes.
Funeral director.
He used to kill motherfuckers, so I can see where that would be.
One of the most popular Cubs ever.
Mm-hmm. Most popular Expos ever, too.
June 16, 2010, Cam Neely is named president of his former team, the Boston Bruins.
I like Cam
Neely.
Cam played good. I like Cam Neely.
He's one of my favorite Bruins.
Yeah.
And let's see. In 2015, the 69th NBA championship was won by the Golden State Warriors over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's okay. We got him.
Not much, as you can see, not much happened on June 16th.
That's right. We got him in 16. That's all good.
All right, now moving on to June.
Now comes the good part.
Okay.
It's been an entire segment on June 17th, 1994.
Okay, in 1992, Philadelphia 76ers traded Charles Barkley to the Phoenix Suns. Somebody was telling me the other day that Barkley needs to shut the hell up because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I consider Barkley the Ben Carson of analyzer.
Wow.
He has no fucking clue what he's doing.
But he's entertaining. That's why
he's entertaining.
He is.
That's why he's talking.
Hey, 1994. the Ford Bronco. On this day, O.J. Simpson.
The chase.
Nobody. I'll tell you what. I'm very disappointed. No one reacted to that picture I posted the other day on
what was the picture, Ken?
The picture of O.J. Simpson. And I said, I don't know what's on his agenda today, but whatever it is, I'll bet he takes his time doing it.
I remember that. I wanted to react to it, but it was funny. It was funny as hell. Yes, the chase.
When did you post it? Because I've been sick for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The chase. Yes, I remember that. I remember the chase. I was actually living in St. Petersburg when that took place. That was actually, this is June. It was actually 2 months after my son was born because he was born that April. So yeah, that's how long ago it was, and he's now 26 years old. So yeah.
Okay, and let's see what else we got here. In 08 and 2010, the 62nd and 64th NBA championships. In 2008, the Celtics defeated the Lakers, and in 2010, the Lakers returned the favor.
There you go.
And finally, I'll give.
Wait a minute, you got more for June 17th, 1994. That's the day the Rangers had their ticker tape parade for their Stanley Cup championship. The Rockets beat the was it Orlando or New York that year?
That might have been in there. I might have just skipped over it. Time constraints, my friend.
The World Cup started that day, and there was a PGA event that
even Nerds Nation runs on time constraints.
Well, we still got 20 minutes. We got plenty of time. No, 94. That wasn't Payne Stewart. Payne Stewart won in 99, so it wasn't Payne Stewart for you.
Right.
Because that I would think it'd be a U.S. Open because it's around Father's Day, since yesterday was Father's Day, or today's Father's Day. Excuse me.
It was 1991. Payne Stewart wins the Monday playoff with '87 champion Scott Simpson.
It would have been 99. Payne Stewart won the U.S. Open in 99. He died 3 months later.
Yeah.
They got golf stuff in here, but I didn't know if you wanted me to mention.
Yeah, Payne Stewart won the U.S. Open on Father's Day in 99, and 3 months later he was gone.
All right, moving on to June 18th. Right. And again, I can't cover everything because there's like hundreds of things on here. So
right,
I'm just going to cover.
You just covered the most significant ones, right?
Yeah. In 1977, Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson squared off in the dugout.
Oh God,
Boston. Remember that?
Oh God.
Yogi Berra.
That was. I mean, in 1977 was the year of the blackouts. It was the summer of that we, in New York. It was terrible in '77. New York
was upside down in '77.
Yes, it was, and the Yankees were the only bright spot in that year.
And if you're gonna ask me, do I remember where I was during the '77 blackouts? Yes, I do. I was at the church gym playing basketball.
Wow.
Really?
I took a shot and all the lights went out.
That was also the year of Son of Sam, wasn't it?
Son of Sam, exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff.
That was the summer before my senior year in high school.
Wow.
In 1993, Expos Dennis Martinez is the 92nd pitcher to win 200 games. U.S. Open men's golf Wingfoot golf course, Jeff Ogilvy of Australia makes clutch pars on the final 2 holes to win by 1. As runner-ups, Jim Furyk, Colin Montgomery, and Phil Mickelson all failed to par the 72nd hole.
What year was that?
That was in 2006.
Okay.
Y'all folded like pups.
1924. Yikes. How'd that
24. It's got to be the Yankees this time.
No. It was George Mikan, but I'm gonna skip past that.
Okay. Because it must have been against the Yankees.
No, Mikan was a basketball player.
Oh, okay.
First thing is the day he was born.
Okay, June 18. What else we got here? Let's see. You know, that was a pretty uneventful day. Antonio Gates was born in 1980.
Nice.
Oh.
And it looks like that does it for June 18.
God, an uneventful year for sports.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in there, but it has nothing to do with a lot of the major sports.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to June 19th. On that day, Mickey Mantle in 1955 hit his 100th career home run.
Now.
Let's see. Reggie Jackson hits his 513th home run in 1985 to move into 10th place on the all-time list.
Where did he end up?
85? Is that when he was with the Angels?
That must have been with his Angels.
Let's see. Stanley Cup Marine Midland in 1999. Dallas Stars as the Buffalo Sabres 2-1 in triple overtime.
Sorry, John.
Brett Hull clinches series with infamous no-goal ruling.
Counts all the thing.
2000, Shaquille O'Neal won the MVP in the NBA championship, says the Lakers beat the Indiana Pacers.
Raider.
The only time the Indiana Pacers have ever been in those NBA finals, isn't it?
2005, Michael Campbell of New Zealand holds off for charging Tiger Woods to clinch only major title by 2 shots. His only major title. All right. I'm sure if John was here, he wouldn't appreciate this one. 2006, the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Edmonton Oilers 3-1 for a 4-3 championship.
Carolina Hurricanes.
I saw that, and it's still hard to believe.
That was the old. Those are the old Hartford Whalers, weren't they? Or were they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hartford
Yep.
Whalers. Yeah.
And in 2016, the Cleveland Cavaliers win first title, beating the defending champion Golden State Warriors.
They had a 3-1 lead.
3-1 deficit.
They blew a 3-1 lead.
They blew a 3-1 lead. Wasn't that like
Only
the first
title
time?
in 52 years.
Yes.
All right, and June 20th, this day in sports. And I'm not going anything before the 70s, maybe, but sometimes something will sneak in here.
Okay.
Let's see. In 82, U.S. Opens golf, Pebble Beach. Tom Watson wins his only U.S. Open by 2 strokes from Jack.
Dipped in on the 17th hole out of the rough, and I remember that.
Yes. That was an unbelievable shot.
Yes.
I saw that thing roll and go, you got to be kidding me.
I know, right? He told his caddy that. You got to be kidding me.
In 1982, Pete Rose is 5th to appear in 3,000 games.
He was still playing at that time, yeah.
Jim Fregosi replaces Tony La Russa as White Sox manager in 86. Let's see. In 1994, O.J. Simpson was arraigned on murder.
Go figure.
What else we got here? In 17, Tiger Woods checks into a clinic to manage his pain and sleep disorder. Following his...
You know what? And I know. I'm gonna jump off of this real quick. I'm still in awe of what he did last year.
Absolutely.
After all the crap that he went through, I was one of his big critics as far as what happened off the course and in his personal life. but as far as what he went through physically, as far as his back is concerned, his legs are concerned, it's just phenomenal to go up. And if you go back and you watch that final round, he never showed any emotion the entire day. You know, maybe he gave a couple of fist pumps on the way in, but to see emotion just exhume out of him when he made that last putt, and the emotions that guy had when he was hugging his son in the same place he hugged his dad when he won his first one. Oh God, I hope he wins it again in November just to defend us, just because he can defend it. I just want to see it.
Hey, here's a curveball, guys. On June 20th, 1893, Lizzie Borden is acquitted of the murders of her father and stepfather.
Oh, thanks, Eliot. Now we're doing serial killers. Serial killer hour on the Sports Nerds, guys. There we go. O.J. Simpson and Lizzie Borden all in the same segment. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. 2019, the New Orleans Pelicans draft Duke power forward Zion Williamson.
Who has yet to prove himself because there hadn't been any games.
Exactly.
He was injured the first half of the season.
But he did play well in the second half. And finally, today, in sports, what do we got? Here's one, FIFA World Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil and Pele become first team and player to win World Cup 3 times. In front of a crowd of 107,412.
Yep. Beat Italy 4-1.
In 1971, Indians Ken Harrelson retired from baseball to play pro golf.
Baseball to golf.
Yeah.
Baseball to golf.
He had his PGA card. Pretty much unheard of back then.
Yep.
All right, Yankees trade Ricky Henderson in 1989 to the A's for Plunk, Cataray, and Polonia.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Exactly. In 1991, Dennis Potvin and Mike Bossy of the Islanders were elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Mike Bossy. I always liked him.
What else we got here? This day in 2002, Lennox Lewis knocked out Mike Tyson.
Nice.
He knocked him in the next week.
That pretty much put his career at an end, right?
Well, now he's 52 years old and wants to go back in the ring.
Yeah, with Amanda Holyfield.
Exactly. He wants to do Holyfield Tyson 2.
He needs to bite the other ear. That's the thing.
Yes.
Somebody sent me a meme today. It was a picture of Evander Holyfield wearing a mask, but he could only hang off one ear.
So bad.
And in 2015, U.S. Open men's golf Chambers Bay, Jordan Spieth becomes youngest winner since 1923.
That was a controversial U.S. Open because of the setup on the course. The course was set up so hard it was almost.
Is that Louis Oosthuizen?
Oosthuizen, yeah, Oosthuizen, yes.
Okay, and Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, but that setup at Chambers Bay. That course I think is in Washington State or Oregon, some on the West Coast, and that setup was just it got criticized and beat up and just slammed in the media all week long by the players all week long too. Because the setup was so bad. It was like putting on glass on the greens. They couldn't get any field, nothing. And that was one of the worst U.S. Opens in history because of the way the setup was. Awful. God awful.
All right, guys, that does it for On This Day this past week.
All right, well, thank you, Eliot. That's a good addition to the show.
Like it.
Absolutely.
It brings a historical perspective.
Yes.
Which is all we have to rely on right now because the present and the future is in doubt.
Correct.
Right?
Did the race get rained out, Ken? Or did they finally start racing?
Yes, it got rained out. You'll have to
race tomorrow?
Run it tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I believe.
Okay, I'll make sure because Talladega is one of those tracks I want to watch because I like the super speedways. I'm a Daytona and Talladega fan.
Hey guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to check out early.
That's fine, Eliot. We're almost done anyway, so I mean, get better, get some rest that neck, and go see your doctor this week, and hopefully we can make.
I'll be calling first thing in the morning.
Good deal. Good deal. Thanks, Eliot. You have a good night, brother.
Be good.
Take care, Eliot.
But yeah, I mean, you know, you and I are the only speedway. Well, Bob was a NASCAR fan. I'm not so much anymore, I don't think. But
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the stage racing, as you know. I wish they'd get rid of it. There's no business being in NASCAR.
They've been doing it for 3 or 4 years now. I haven't figured it out yet. Why?
Yeah,
I mean, what?
You know, forced yellow flag. You know, 3 times a race. It just.
Yeah.
You know, and plus Junior's gone, so I don't watch it as much anymore now that Junior's retired.
Right.
Although he did run the Xfinity race last weekend, I think he ran the Xfinity race.
Yeah, weird.
Finished second or third. But actually finished top 5 when it was finished. But
he was running somebody else's car, wasn't he?
I think so. Yes. But I mean, Talladega and Daytona are pretty much the only races I would watch at this point because I like the speedway format. I like it. They flew a Confederate flag over the racetrack today. How nice! How better can people be?
Yeah, I heard that.
There was also a video out there I saw that where they had people. There was a caravan of trucks and cars flying Confederate flags out front of the racetrack today too.
I really suspect.
You know what? It's Alabama. What do you figure it's Alabama? So I could have figured it was going to happen. I know golf has got. I don't know if they finished. RBC. They're playing the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head today. There was a rain delay in that as well.
Yeah. I think they moved it over to Golf Channel because CBS is going with regular programming. So.
Yeah. So it's probably on the Golf Channel. It looks like they're going to be they're going to have darkness in Hilton Head in about 10-15 minutes.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're going to finish it or not. So
no. Good question.
But yeah, I mean, I'll watch Talladega tomorrow. Probably I'll have it on when I'm working.
I'm gonna try and watch it. They said it's supposed to be on Fox, so I'm gonna try and catch it.
It's the first race all year where they're actually going to allow 5,000 fans in the stadium too.
Ooh.
On the seats, they're going to allow 5,000 fans in the seats.
Wow!
But with Talladega, it's so big they can spread that out. It's Talladega's big like Daytona's big. If you've ever been to Daytona, that facility is freaking huge because I've been. I lived there for 2 years. And I've done the tour, and that whole facility is just, you can't believe how big it is unless you're there because it's huge.
Yeah, it holds what, 250, 300,000?
Yes.
Yeah. All these racetracks do. I mean, Texas holds, I think, 200,000, and I don't know what Talladega is, but it's about 250, I think, something like that.
I just got a tweet from the PGA Tour, Brett. It looks like Webb Simpson birdied the 71st hole, take a 2-shot lead. So it could be it for Webb Simpson. Could be doing it. So he birdied 5 of the past 6 holes. So I guess he's on the last hole now. So yes, Wayne also has admired your essay today, Ken.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to say that I admitted in the essay that I do have 2 Confederate flags. They are furled. They're in the back of my closet, and that's where they're going to stay.
Don't be ashamed of your roots, though, because
I'm not. But I had to acknowledge this because I had to open up a spleen and.
And just because your great grandfather was there doesn't mean you are on his side. I mean, you're honoring that he served, but and he died in battle, which is honorable, I guess. Doesn't matter what side he was on. He's still your relative, so it's all good.
Yep. Right.
I had a cousin on my mother's side was killed in Vietnam. But as far as I know, that's the only relative I know that died in battle. But I've had several family members that went to war. In fact, my cousin, who just passed away this past year, about a year ago, was actually on one of the helicopters that tried to rescue the hostages in '79.
Oh wow!
So, So, Talladega is the longest NASCAR oval and can hold 160. I think Talladega is because Daytona is 2.5 miles. I think Talladega is a little bit bigger than that, but Daytona is 2.5 miles. Night, Wayne. Thanks.
Good night, Wayne. Take care. Thanks. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I mean, and I've had my grandfather's brother was at Guadalcanal served
Mhm.
on Guadalcanal in World War II. And I've had, my dad was 2 years in the Army. So I've got relatives that served in it, but you know, that essay was awesome, Kenny. It really was.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Much respect. All right, folks, all four of you, we're gonna shut it down for the week. We need to start getting some more faces on and more people in the seats on this show, because I want to build it. Because John's getting like 10 to 20 people on his shows twice a week. So I want to try and come after him for that. But
I wonder how far he's gone. Have you heard from him today?
I've not heard from him today. No, I mean he did make an appearance on. If you ever heard Discord, it's an IM platform. He was on the Discord chat earlier today, but I haven't talked to him now. But he's on the road to Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be gone again next week as well, but he'll be back in 2 weeks. So
I knew that he was probably going to try and hook up with Army when he got to Montreal.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. So that'd be great. It'd be great.
It would.
Because I keep forgetting to get with Army when he comes down here, because he's only in St. Petersburg. I should go down and see him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So next time when he comes down this winter, I'm going to try and make a point of it. Go get in touch with him and getting with him. And
I wish he had just come by Texas and stayed a little bit longer when he was here, but hopefully someday.
Yep. Anyway, folks, promote the site, promote the page, the group. You know, as we get further into the year, hopefully we'll have more sports to talk about, and we'll have better content. But at this point, thank you, Eliot, for the content tonight with the lists and this date in history. I really appreciate it. And to everybody out there, we are the Sports Nerds. We are out for the week. See you next Sunday at 7. Peace.
Peace.